It do be bussin', and they can hear us. Welcome everybody to this week's episode of the Predcast. We got a great cast for this week's, and we can't wait to go over the little sneak peek to season 3 that we were able to get our hands on. So excited about that. Huge shout out to the Omeda dev team for helping us and getting that information to us. Can't wait. But before we do that, we got to do our introductions, get everybody to know everybody who they are, and we will go from there. So let's do it in this order. Let's do Ro, Krashy, Pinzo, Efsixx, then myself. All right. Introduce yourself. Let them know who they are, where they can find you, and a little bit about yourself.
What's going on, man? My name is Joshua TV. 22 years old. I stream on Twitch. Partner content creator with Predecessor. Took a little break from Predecessor recently due to a lot of family things, but want to get back on it. Start by streaming more. I'm Joshua TV on all socials, so make sure y'all go over there and hit follow, baby.
All right, let's go. Good to hear. Krashy, we've never seen your face before. You're new. How do we? What about you?
What's up, friends? It's me, Krashy. Pred player. Love the game. It's basically the only game I play. Got a complicated love-hate relationship with it. I like to post some videos. Haven't streamed in a while. I've been doing some IRL things, but happy to be back on. Hope everybody's doing well.
If I understand correctly, you recently got an IRL job now. Like you were full-time content creation. You're now working offsides now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Congrats on that.
In the last it's like 2.5 months, I completely moved cities, and then I rejoined the technology industry. So I went back to working in technology. I work on hardware side, so I do a lot of computer maintenance stuff, but I do a lot of networking stuff too. I work for a school district, so it's pretty interesting.
All right.
Never expect that. Yeah, I work for a school district, and then I moved from Austin to the city that I work in, which is pretty close to Austin, and my sister bought a house, and now I'm leasing a brand new house for my sister. So and my sister's due date was Sunday, and the baby hasn't come out, so my nephew, I'm waiting on him. He needs to hurry up. I'm ready to meet this dude.
So Pinzo leaves midstream. We probably have an idea why, guys. All right.
Pinzo.
All right. Not Pinzo. Sorry, Krashy. Pinzo's next. Pinzo's next.
Your sister
No,
joke,
it's
Krashy.
dude.
Okay, that one wasn't even me.
It's so funny because I told my boss, I was like, "Hey, one of these days I might just get up and leave for a few hours." And she was like, "Why?" And I was like, "My nephew's on the way, and I have to go pick up my other nephew." I was like, "It's a whole thing."
Sorry, Pinzo's the next one. That's what I meant with that situation. But yeah, if Krashy ends up leaving midstream, we understand. Pinzo.
I also have to be at Krashy's sister's. I have to be there too, so
Yeah.
I also might have to leave. If you
All right.
Krashy leave, I'm fine.
Brother.
I'm behind him.
All right.
But yeah, I'm Pinzo. Stream daily, YouTube daily for Pred. Yeah, we don't have any big tournaments or anything coming up, so I'm just kind of vibing on the content train, waiting for some cool stuff to come along, which we got a sneak peek into because Kari is sweet. I shot her a Discord message and was like, "Kari, can you hit us up?" And she said, "Let me talk to Ace," and then got back to me half an hour later and was like, "This is what I got." So big shout outs to Ace and Kari for
100%
giving us some stuff to talk about.
100%. So don't give anything away. I don't, unless you can. I don't know, because I don't know what all. I didn't get to watch all of it. But you said not any tournaments coming up, but you were just in one, right? You were in the PCC. How'd that go?
We kind of threw.
All right.
It wasn't a good day of Pred for our team.
All
There were
right.
some unfortunate circumstances that happened for game 1 where we didn't have our full roster, and then it went downhill from there.
Got you.
So
All right.
it was not a good day of Pred, but next tourney we're coming back.
There you go. All right. Efsixx. Speaking of attorneys,
Speaking of attorneys, what's up, team boy Efsixx? Over
this
here.
guy's wearing a Cracker Barrel.
You guys don't like Cracker Barrel?
I love Cracker Barrel. I just wasn't expecting you to wear it.
Oh, nah. I love
Shows how much I paid attention pre-show. I'm sitting here doing all the stuff to get everything set up, and I look over and wait a minute. Right.
But yeah,
Sorry.
So stream over. It's all good, man. Stream over on Twitch on the kick. Do some YouTube content. Not recently because season 3 was not here, so I don't really have too much to really post on that. But yeah, you can catch me over at the PCC. We just had PCC 5. Great tourney. A lot of competition was there. Don't worry. Pinzo. PCC6 is just around the corner, just a little bit. We're just cooking up some stuff. And then other than that, you catch me on Predcast as usual.
All right. What's good, everybody? It's I, the Beat Wolverine, your Michigan Wonder, and I cannot tell you how excited I am to get this episode to you guys. I actually have been taking a break from Pred as well. It's been getting a little monotonous for me, so I've been taking a break and enjoying something else.
Pred grinder on Predcast now.
We're all grinders, but I mean,
I was gonna say me and Ro have been getting back into it lately,
right?
Hey, facts.
So. But yeah, I've taken a little hiatus, just a little bit, nothing crazy. I mean, it's only been like a week, but I mean, like and I will talk more about that when it gets to it. But when we talk more about this season 3 roadmap, but yeah, you can catch me live Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and it usually is Thursdays. But my nephew plays on Thursdays football this year, so I'm going to probably switching that to Fridays. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Fridays. You catch me live here on Kick, the Beat Wolverine. You can also check me on my socials, X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. If you're the boomer like me that I don't want to change the name, so I'm gonna call it Twitter for the rest of my life. T_B_Wolverine. And the one we're missing still got some stuff going on IRL. Shout out to him, Windu. Hope everything goes well, gets better for you. But Windu's not here, but you can check him out he no longer streams on Twitch. He's a full-time YouTube content creator now. You can check him out on YouTube, where we also post this after the live version, the Windu the Mace at YouTube. So check him out there, show him some love, and make sure to leave a comment and like all the Predcast so we can help that out. But with that being said, Just Ro, we have to ask you, sorry, I'm gonna bounce between calling you Ro and Just Ro. It's gonna be a combination, so forgive me on that, but we have to ask you, Paragon, you played it, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, when you played it, who was your favorite character and who was your least favorite character to go up against?
My favorite character, I was kind of forced because I was younger. I was going with all the older kids in me, so I was forced to play support. So my favorite character before FaZe came out was Decker.
Okay.
My first mastery. Then became FaZe when she came out. My least liked character to play against, I would say Iggy. I think I didn't like the tank.
Thank God.
I really just wasn't a fan. It's just too tanky, too much going on, too much in lane. Didn't like.
Yeah. I could agree with you. I mean, coming into that, like not knowing what a MOBA was and trying to stop a turret character, not understanding how to counter that was very annoying. Like Iggy was the worst to go up against, especially in that one version, because I was an ADC main, and you go into that version of Paragon where it was a 2v1, you had the duo versus the solo, and you're going against a solo Iggy, and it's like, how do I stop these turrets? Like it was a pain.
I was disaster trying to go against, especially tank. Like you said, the 2v1 off lane. It was nothing to play around with for sure.
Right. All right. So now your transition from Paragon to Pred. What are your thoughts on how Team Omeda is doing with making their iteration of Paragon?
As of right now, I really do like Predecessor. I like that it really kept the original roots of Paragon. That's like my main thing. When the game cut off, what was that, like 5 years ago? It kind of hurt my heart. You feel me? It's one of my most played games at the time. And I like how original they kept it. I do like, me personally, I know a lot of people want them to push out content a little more fast. Than me personally, I'd rather them take their time instead of release content that feels rushed. And it's like, now we all got an issue with that, so now they got to go back and try to fix that again before they try to move on to the next step. So I do like that they do take their time. I do like that they did come out on stream on Predcast and say that they're going to be more vocal with everybody, let us know, what's going on. So I don't know. Omeda doing pretty good to me. I do want them to keep it up. I'm happy that console's coming. So hopefully the closer we get to free to play, the closer we get to all the, all the add-ons, some masteries, everything that we're missing right now.
Okay. All right. So with those terms of you feel like their pace is good, I now need to bring Krashy in here, because I know Krashy, you've been pretty boisterous on your thoughts on their pace. You'll go ahead and step in and see what give your opinion there.
Okay, I feel like I have to clarify. If you're gonna put me in the hot seat like that,
100%.
Let me explain that. I think that like I really am just like this love-hate person, where it's like, if I didn't care and love the game so much, I just wouldn't do any of this, right? Like I wouldn't do all the bitching and moaning. So that context at least like gives me room to maybe try to at least justify it for myself. It's probably more for me than for anybody else. But it's not that the work they do is bad. In fact, it's the opposite. I said this in my video recently. The work they do is great, but I'm so confident, and it's just my own experiences in gaming for like the last 15 years. I'm so confident that if this is the pace forever, people will get bored. And it doesn't matter if it's version 1, it doesn't matter if it's version 2.5. It's like what ends up happening is you have like a release of something and the chart spikes because people are interested. So let's take free to play. That's a release of something. The chart spikes, people are interested, and then it will always taper off. It will always taper off. And what happens is you now need them to work, bring people back in with a new release. A new update, new hero, new system, new season, new iteration, whatever it is. And so I'm worried that it's the gaps between those points, right? That's what I'm worried about, is that it's going to spike and then it's going to be so long until they can get back to a spike that what's going to end up happening is you're going to see the player base go down like gradually forever. And that's going to happen anyways, but it's more about just retaining people as much as possible, for as long as possible, to have a healthy game where it can eventually kind of plateau and kind of hit its set point. So it really all just comes down to free to play. Like I do think that they're a little too slow. I wish the hero releases were like a little bit faster just in the early days. I mean, 1 a month is like, it's a fine pace. I think it's pretty good. I do wish it was a little bit faster, but that's not really my concern. It's really, I think, just the optics of how season 2 went, because they, like, if you're someone that was around for all of early access, then season 2 has felt grueling because we've basically gotten like nothing. So if you're someone that's coming in like now or coming around season 3, like your mental going into it's probably pretty good, because you're gonna just kind of get back on the course correction, because that's what season 3 and the new UI feels like. It feels like a course correction. Like, okay, they had to pull expectations, they had to give us the thing that's pivotal to the game, which is UI, and then they can course correct from there. So I'm excited because I feel like we're hopefully going to see the pace increase a bit, but we're also getting the course correction, which I think is clearly necessary.
Yes, course correction 100% necessary. Completely agree with that. Now, when it comes to pace and what's going on, I agree with you that after free to play, the pace that they currently are holding needs to be better than what it is now. But I think right now, because the fact that it's early access and we haven't done any marketing to bring in that huge spike of player base, and we're not to dwindle off, I think right now is your best time to do your slow movement, get things perfected in a sense, where then once free to play comes, everything can be moving at a much smoother pace. It's a train. A train doesn't just pick up speed and just take off and it's darting across. It takes time to get going, but once it gets going, that thing's a smooth rolling machine. That's kind of what we need to be going here. Zygor says in chat, well, first, sorry, man. Ep says, Omeda could pick up the pace probably, but for the moment, I'd rather quality over quantity. And then Zygor says, to add, while I would rather not have rush content, it doesn't change the fact that the game needs more content faster for it not to die, regardless of the capability of Omeda at the moment. It can only delay full release and hide behind early access for so long. I wouldn't say it's hiding, but okay, I understand the point. Now, that kind of ties into me and the reason I have been playing another game. And the other game I've been playing is Overprime. They released Richter. All right. So I was like, you know what? I want to go see what Richter feels like. I love how Richter feels in Predecessor. Richter plays great, smoothly. Love it. So, well, let me go see how he plays in Overprime. Go play Overprime. As I play a few games with a couple of my friends that play Overprime, I'm actually having fun. And there's a mastery. I'm actually, and no matter what, if I'm playing, because when I'm playing Predecessor right now, I'm playing with people who don't know how to play the game. I'm playing with literally placement matches people, and I'm playing with somebody who sits on one side of the jungle as a jungler and only ganks dual lane. Didn't even gank jungle, just ganked dual lane and ran back to red jungle. Gank dual, that's who I'm playing with in Predecessor. All right. Now there's times that I'm playing with those same people or some people on the same level in Overprime, but I'm getting the benefit of actually grinding for something. I'm not just spending 30 minutes like, okay, well, that was a waste because that person doesn't know how to play. And here I am. and I just back to the menu and do it again. At least I'm grinding for something. I'm actually getting something completed by doing it. I'm actually having fun doing that instead of playing Predecessor right now. So that's why I said 2 episodes ago when somebody, it was Efsixx, asked what's needed in the season. It's mastery. Mastery is one of the things. Mastery and a better tutorial system is needed in this season 3 roadmap, because something needs to keep the people who are here. Got to keep them here somehow, some way.
Yeah, so I said something in, I want to say it was Soul Reaper's stream recently, and I think it's probably been like, okay, so everybody has like an ego, and like everybody has, and I mean literally, like from a psychological standpoint, like we all have our ego, and we kind of naturally as like humans, I feel like we kind of like revolve our existence around ourselves, like our own reality and the way that we experience things. And I said something in his chat that made me realize I needed to like kill my ego a little bit, because I said, I think the hardest thing for me to accept with Pred is realizing that it's not that I don't think Omeda doesn't care about me as a player, but that they don't have to care about me as a player. Like, if they don't retain me, that actually doesn't mean fuck all, because what they need to do is retain all the free-to-play people. So in a way, like I wish they would speed up and I wish they would do things differently, but I actually kind of respect them for just like, every time they talk about the game, they're confident. Every single time, every single one of them. And like, you could say like, oh, well, of course they have to be. They're being like public and doing, you know, press on the game essentially. But I actually like, it feels genuine enough to me. So like, I'm comparing my fears with the pace of the game to if the pace stays exactly the same going free to play, but they have plenty of opportunities to pick up their pace and or to just do insane work going forward. So I think that just because I'm not happy or haven't been happy with the game for a while, it really doesn't matter. Like, and I can accept that. It doesn't change the way I feel at all, but I can accept that. So for me, it's like season 3 to me is a big tell-all season, because I want to see what happens post the new UI. I'm kind of waiting here to either be like, gotcha, like I knew it fucking wasn't that, or I'm also waiting to be like, oh my god, it was that, and I feel relieved. And then going forward to free to play, whenever that is, it's the same thing. Like, I'm just ready to see what they can do and what the game will be. Because basically everybody that loves this game we're all just waiting to free to play, to be honest. Like, season 3 is exciting, I'm excited, but free to play is the big moment. So
now, Efsixx, you've been saying something, you know, pretty much along those lines of what Krashy's talking about, kind of just waiting and seeing what's happening. So why don't you reiterate a little bit on that, if you don't mind?
So yeah, my point is still the same. So I was also, there was a point, I'm not going to say there wasn't a point where I kind of like had the passion where Krashy was like, something needs to be done. And then I just had, I guess, the quicker response of taking that step back and being like, is there something that really needs to be done at a pace that I want because I've been here since the alpha testing, right? Like, is it because I've just been here so long and I'm not really seeing the big picture? So I took a step back and I realized, like, it's not that everything is slow as in like on a development side. And I think we always forget, and we just kind of just trying to focus on like, oh, I'm a consumer, like I need to be pleased, and not kind of thinking about the other side of things. Like, they're a company, they're gonna have to do things a certain way that is not gonna please us all the time, and we just need to be understanding. And that was the thing I was saying in the last Predcast, was understanding from both sides is gonna go a long way, because if we understand there's certain things they have to do, there's certain routes they have to take, and if they're open about it like they have been, I don't see why we should all still be pressing the same issues. Like us saying, oh hey, we need mastery skins, and them saying, hey, we have a bottleneck UI, we can't get you mastery skins until we fix this. There's nothing going to change from us keep yelling like, this is a dead game, the game's going to die. It's not going to die just because it takes 2 more months for them to release a mastery skin when they've been open about it. But if they were like, hey, oh no, everything's fine, there's not a fire here, and then they were just say, just keep continuing on, then I would see a problem. So just take a step back, a little bit more understanding. And like Krashy said, season 3 is a big point, and I think so too. Give season 3 a chance, make it go out, make it do the whole entire full length of it. What they do by the time of end of season 3 is really what's going to tell us what's going to be happening into the future.
Yeah. No, and Pinzo said this earlier, and SG put it in the chat. I just want to reiterate it just so they understand that where we're at with this. But SG says, I think we should give credit to Omeda for the uptick in community engagement from Kari/Stags and also the devs coming on the Predcast, etc. It has made season 2 more tolerable. And I completely agree with that.
Yes.
The communication that we're getting, not just on the Predcast. I mean, again, we love that they're coming on the Predcast, but you know they've been on other people's streams. They PCC had their own little what's that?
To the core.
Yeah, there you go. They had Ace on that show. I know there was another streamer. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting their name. They had Blood Mortius on and during season 2. Moogie. There, thank you. Sorry. So they had Moogie. Moogie had Blood Mortius on. It's stuff like that. So they're going around. They're being active other places, and that's great to see as well. So keep that up. That communication that we're getting is great. Ro, what are your thoughts now on, you know, of seeing the devs and being active, not just on the Predcast, but other places, and then the blogs that we're getting, you know, more frequently and stuff like that? What are your thoughts on the uptick there?
Like, I ain't gonna lie, when RGSace came on Predcast, honestly, at that point of the time, I wasn't really playing Pred a lot. I fell off of Pred because of matchmaking. I made a video about it. I really just didn't like matchmaking. They somewhat fixed it, but I still get, like you said, placement people in my matches, bronze people in my matches. And it's just like, me as a person that been playing the game, I'm not gonna say I'm the best, but I'm far from the worst, I feel like, right? And I feel like I shouldn't be going against people that just having their first match on the game. Granted, some of them might be Smurfs, but I just feel like it's not balanced. But like once I seen RGSace come on here and I wasn't playing, it actually made me really excited because it was like the first time we was able to really see him outside of just an overview video, you know what I mean? And y'all asking him questions and he giving details about the things that he was able to because he can't tell us everything, obviously. So I really did like that. With Kari, her even being community, you know, talking to us more, helping us out more, even within the creator Discord. That's pretty dope. Her just being a little bit more vocal, and then even with the predecessor server, her, like even little slight things like, oh, it might be some downtime here and there. Just let people know instead of just being like not aware, and then people become frustrated. Because that's like my main thing is like, I'm happy that they, like, in season 2, they kind of overpromised so much that they didn't give. Like, we still didn't get ranked, you know what I mean? And that was maybe the biggest thing for most of us players that been here since December, and some people that been here since Alpha, you know? We really was waiting on rank to separate us from the casual players, to have a more competitive aspect. Granted, it might not have been an everyday thing, but like every weekend or something like that, but we never got that. And I'd rather them take that step back and now in season 3 and not overpromise like they said in the blog post, and kind of just, if they get that stuff ready, they can just throw it out when they're able to. Because like season 2, granted, I do like they taking their time, but it was super duper long season, you know what I mean? Yeah, it was too many people that got released, but I do like that they I do like the direction that they taking, being more honest with, listen to the community in general, and I do like they showing their face a little bit more, and getting each side of Omeda Studios. You know what I mean? You got the people that make the characters, the visual effects of the characters, everything like that, and that's pretty dope. For me, like I don't even know how to even make a character. You know what I mean? I don't know nothing about that. It's pretty dope to learn about that and to see how the process they take, you know, put them in the game for us. So I do like what they're doing so far. I just hope that they do maintain it. And like Krashy said, free to play obviously will be the biggest aspect of the predecessor game, but I do feel like console right now is gonna be super duper big, just as big as free to play. Because it's going to add another, you know, form of player base coming to the game, and then we can see how do they take advantage of other players, you know, more players coming to the game. Let's see how they decide to tackle it, even though they're gonna make them pay at the beginning. But I do feel like there's a lot of people that's out there that is willing to pay just for the game right now on console. So
okay, so I kind of want to jump in off the end of that. One thing I just want to add, like especially to the very last point, like I do think people will be willing to pay. I always try to remind people that these bundles are actually super good value. Like, so you're not really just paying for the game; you're actually getting like a shit ton of value off the bundles, especially considering the fact that they've pushed the hero acquisition system so many times that like I think we got like an extra 3 or 4 heroes for, you know, quote unquote free, or you know in the bundles. So yeah, the bundles are great. I think if any console players are happen across this and you're questioning whether or not you want to wait for free to play, dude, it's worth it. It's honestly worth it. Even if you buy the cheap one and you don't get all the extra skins, you're getting a bunch of heroes that you won't have to grind for. So definitely good on that. That said, I don't know if y'all remember, but when Ace came on Predcast, I got like giga excited for a little bit. Like I was reinvigorated. That was literally the word I used. I was super excited. But that's my point. This is how these things go. Like the devs and studios have opportunities, or they do releases, or they do press, or they do these things where it kind of brings people back in and then it tapers off. And that even happened with me personally, where, dude, that was over 2 months ago. He was on the Predcast literally over 2 months ago. And there's something that rings in my ears, and it's like, oh, I think console sooner than you guys think. Like, motherfucker, I'm still sitting here waiting. And here's the thing with me, console doesn't affect me at all. Like, it will not change my experience at all. The new UI will not change my experience at all. It's going to do little to nothing. And so this is where I think the frustration comes from me, is because it's a lot of these things that are compounded, where it's like season 2 was an omega flop because they overpromised, and now we're course correcting. That's great. Like I'm happy about that. But season 2 was a massive flop. Season 3 will probably not hit most of the things that we were promised in season 2. Might hit some of them. You know, it just is like this giant kicking the can down the road always and always and always. And that's why it feels so slow. That's why it feels so slow, because even some of the shit that we thought we were gonna get months ago hasn't happened. And even some of the things that I was looking forward to hero acquisition. I was looking forward to being forced to grind or pay for heroes just because it was something to do.
Right.
So,
Now, I do have to disagree though, real quick.
Part of why it just feels so long as well, on top of actually being long.
Agree. I do have to disagree though with the how it's not going to affect you, because I feel like the influx, the decent influx in play, because especially Efsixx, you're thinking 2K players, right? Is that what you said last Predcast?
From the like it'll even out to roughly around 2K.
Yeah. So we're looking at like a possibly an influx to 2K player base. Like that's going to make matchmaking hella times better compared to what it is right now with the very small player base that we currently have. So if we were to influx to that just off of console, like that's going to definitely affect your experience of the gameplay. And I'm excited for that. That's something that needs to happen. And I think them having that influx is going to help them work. Okay. Sorry guys, Zoom just crashed on me for a second there.
There you go.
Better reconnected.
Are we
all right? Yeah. Sorry guys.
So in a comment, Zygo was like, console will add more players, but it won't add enough for good players to make a high-end matches balance. And I think that's wrong, because when it comes to the matchmaking, the problem isn't that we're not having higher end matches. The problem is there's not enough spaces between the higher end matches, right? So now it's either you're getting, hey, there's 3 people that are low end and 2 people that are high end. With the influx of players, now you're trying to close in that gap to where your higher end matches are a lot closer than you just getting a completely person on the lower bracket.
Yes.
I think that requires intentional matchmaking changes, though, right? Because that means that they have to go in and tighten the buckets or tighten the parameters to keep.
Right, but that's one thing they're also still working on. That's something that Jay Shred's even said. They're working on their own actual matchmaking. Like that's still being worked on in the background.
So influx of players has the potential to make matchmaking feel better. I'm skeptical, but it definitely does for sure.
Right.
And I mean, let's be honest. All of us has played a lot of games, right? 99% of your matches, you're like, why is this person making stupid plays, right? I mean, that's never.
No, I know why.
That's why I quit playing with Efsixx.
Right.
Agreed.
So it's not like everything's going to go to like, oh man, these are all great games. I mean, there's still going to probably be the same percentage of like the great games you have. And without rank, let's be honest, you're really not going to get that higher end match you're looking for until that happens.
My bad, Pinzo. You go ahead.
No, you can go for it, Jestro.
I'm going to throw some on top just a little bit, because I'm a console boy myself. I really made a PC switch for Pred, you know what I mean? And I like, just in my circle of all my console homies, it's at least, I really want to say at least like 30 of us. that's waiting to jump on this game. Well, I know I'm on the game already, but they not. But I know it's at least like 30 of us in total is waiting to jump on this game. And going back to like 2K, around 2K people coming into the game, I think it's a lot of people because console really hard stuck to like Smite, you know what I mean? That's really all you can really play on console, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And with that being said, Smite been out for so long, and I feel like a refresher for a mobile type of aspect game on console would be Predecessor. I think it maybe could bring in a lot more. And then like even like competitive aspect, because I remember Krashy said it, you know, it's a real big debate about console players not being as good as PC players because of movement and stuff allowed. And I want to say it's a lot of people that really can compete on console too. You know what I mean? It's a lot of people that come out here, become higher on the elos and everything like that too. So yeah, I just want to let this
yeah,
that out.
yeah. Empty won't be the best player in Malta once console comes out.
I do
way
know
I
a
look
lot of
at it
console
is-
players. No, go ahead, Pinzo.
The way I look at it is like, let's say we're right and there are 2,000 players after console, right? That would give us like 1,000 PC players and 1,000 console players. If you're top 1% for PC, how like because it's combined servers, right? How many console players do you realistically think hit top 1%? Like competing with PC players, like will those upper brackets really change like that much? If like let's say there's 1,000 console players and 20 of them can hit top 1%,
Not
like
to mention
that
we
doesn't
have a
really change
9-month
top
head
end
start.
matchmaking.
We have a 9-month head start
Yeah.
on them. Like these players, it's like it's not that they're like I don't view console players bad. It's like they're bad because they don't know the game, right? And like, yeah, they know Paragon, but dude, this is not Paragon, right? Like it's Pred and it's got its own things. And so no, I'm not just looking at console and saying, yeah, console bad. They're just behind, man. Like, understandably so. Like, they're literally behind.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't.
Quite my point. I was talking about it more from like a matchmaking perspective. Like, I think like me and Krashy's games like really aren't going to change.
No,
in
they're going to be.
matchmaking just
I think they're
because
going to be
of console.
exactly the same. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they will feel exactly the same.
Like maybe those mid-ladder games get better where you don't have as many high-end players on your team just because like there's more, gold and plat players to fill out those lobbies. So maybe those people's matches do get better, but I'm not sold on the high end getting better.
I like agree to disagree with y'all because I mean I'm not up to masses of y'all. I am diamond player. You feel me? I do feel like when console do get here, I like the head start that we did have on PC is major. But like me, prime example, like I was decent at Paragon. You know what I mean? Paragon, I wasn't the best, but I wasn't the worst. But when I played Smite, that's when I really honed in on my mobile talent, right? I just think sometimes, even though you switching games, whatever, you just can't lose that talent of playing MOBAs. Granted, you might not know how cars working here. That's why, you got content creators you try to go get bills from, So I really don't think that because we have a head start, like, and definitely mean we will be better than them. I do feel like mobile talent is mobile talent. No matter what mobile you play, if you got the understanding of how the game works, in any game you play, you can't go over there and succeed in that game too. So I definitely agree to disagree for that though.
For like forgetting about mobile is more about knowledge than it is mechanics, and it's a lot easier to fix your mechanics than it is to fix the knowledge about the game. So keep that in consideration because there's a lot of people coming from console that play a lot of MOBAs that do have a lot of MOBA knowledge, and that's going to turn the tides essentially.
I was mostly on Krashy's page of like, we have 9-month head start of knowledge and mechanics on these players, right?
Right,
Like,
and it's not
with the game. They have
Yeah,
we have
they'll
9
close
months
the gap.
of practice essentially.
right.
And they will close the gap because we're not
Yeah.
exponentially improving. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, day over day. They're gonna, dude. They're like, it's like a kid. Like, like it's the neuroplasticity, bro. It's like they can learn so fast. That's what it's like. It's the reason why I was playing 11-hour days whenever the game first hit EA. Like, I just had so much to learn. I had to take it all in. Also, and I will say this. We have a 9-month head start, but we also didn't have Omeda City for builds. Like, they can literally just find some of these high MMR players, look at their builds, understand what items are viewed as good in the meta, and then kind of jump in on that. So I definitely think it probably won't take them 9 months to catch up to us, but we do have a bit of head start. But that's really all. I think this is kind of a moot point for me. Like, I don't think console players are bad. There's going to be some really freaking good console players that come out of nowhere after it comes out.
So my argument against Pinzo, and I'm siding with Ro here, is in disagreeing with the matchmaking is, I do agree it's not going to happen instantly, right? Again, you 9-month head start, fine, that's whatever. But the end, like what Krashy just said, they're going to learn quick. But with the bottom tier matchmaking and the mid tier matchmaking improving because of that, that's going to help the players that are like, hey, I can't even get better because I'm stuck here in mid because I can't stop playing with these placement matches. And then you're going to get better matches. So then you're able to that they're going to grow. So when they grow, they're going to start growing into your 1%ers. You're going to get people that are going to like it's taking a flower, and if you don't put it in the sun, it's not going to grow. You know, you finally put it in the sun, and all of a sudden it's going to finally reach that 1% you've been looking for. Now, not everybody's going to do that. I'm not saying that like out of the 2,000 people we get from console, you're going to have 1,000 people in the 1%. That's not going to happen. You know, you guys to really feel the effects of it are going to have to wait for marketing. Once marketing starts happening and we start pushing and free to play happens and all that stuff goes there, that's when you guys are going to start feeling your situation. You know, I guess the saying is when, you know, it used to be it sucks to suck. I guess it sucks to be good too then in that situation. You know, you be as bad as me and you don't have to worry about it.
It's crazy. I've literally always said that I think that being good at video games is a freaking curse because you see everything too quickly. You recognize the problems too quickly. You know when people are bad too quickly. Things frustrate you, I think, easier unless you just have an iron fucking mental. I actually think that like the saying ignorance is bliss is true as shit. Like sometimes I just wish I was dog shit. I wish I was gold. Like I wish I just had like no aim, no brain. Like
you just called gold dog shit.
No. Okay, think of the bell curve. Think of the bell curve. That's like where everyone is, right? Like it's like in most games, people are like diamond or like gold. I mean, you know, and so it's like. And also, Omeda City ranks they're nonsense anyways. But you get my point.
Yeah.
In the middle.
I wish I was dog shit. I wish I was gold. Putting those two, that's a
said what I said.
that's like a greater than equal to situation. Oh my gosh.
Stick to your guns.
All right, let's get that one clipped, guys, so we can put that one on the YouTubes. All right, so all right. Pinzo, you played Paragon. I'm correct with that, right? I'm not mistaken, right? I know you played Smite, but you played Paragon too, right? Barely? Okay.
Barely.
So you aren't the one to ask this question. Efsixx.
You got Paragon questions, it's not me, man.
Efsixx. You played it, right?
For like a week.
What the hell, man? Ro, you're the only one. Ro. All right, let me ask you, Ro. Ro, I know, but you were a support main. But you, again, what... If I told you Serath, they've already announced Serath to be out, right? If I told you Serath, what role would you say that Serath plays when you remember playing Paragon?
A lot of people take her to ADC.
ADC, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now I always said she was a solo lane. She was always a solo laner to me. Yep. ADC, she was meant to be an ADC. She was supposed to be a melee ADC, didn't work out. She became the next Greystone. She's a female Greystone, right? Is what it was, right? So... my question, the reason I bring this up is because this is what we got, guys, and I'm trying to figure out why we're looking at, it says jungle.
Oh, so we're showing the full reveal here.
Let's like this is what we got, guys. This is our roadmap sneak peek here. Sarah's jungle? What are your thoughts?
She's mine. I'm excited. She looks like she's gonna be an amazing jungler. I can't wait to play her.
Do y'all think she's gonna be like more of a brawler?
She's definitely going to be brawling in the jungle. I 100% believe she's gonna be a jungle off lane secondary, just based off of what she's trying to do, especially fitting into Pred.
That's why. Like, do you think they like what I want to say, like damage wise? Do you think they still kept like some of the damage like that she kind of had, and like because she was like ADC ish on Paragon over? I do think that like she still get the spikes.
I don't know.
Maybe
that'd be kind of crazy if she kind of do. I'm just serious.
So right. I've always been like really confused by the notion of a melee carry. Like to me, that just makes no sense. Like,
I'm just glad someone else also thinks that makes no sense.
I've thought this for years. Like melee carries don't exist; those are assassins. Like
correct.
It doesn't make any sense. That's like saying you have a ranged tank, which I've only ever seen pulled off like a couple of times in MOBAs, and they're never like meta because it's super weird. So it's like I don't know. Like so I just think she's an assassin. So to me, she's gonna be like you can. It's like when people were playing Feng Mao mid. Like yeah, you can pull it off if you really want to. Maybe she's super crazy and it works, but she's probably gonna be an off lane jungle. Like I think it makes the most sense.
Yeah, I definitely choose off lane jungle.
Like carry is.
Yeah. I mean, well, you got Yin. Yin's definitely gonna be your melee carry. I don't see how they change her. I guess they could, but
she's not really like a melee carry.
She's melee. Though. She's melee.
She's like medium.
She's like a mid range.
And at that point, but here's the question: can you really replace a carry with that?
No.
That's my question.
You can't. You can't replace long range, safe, sustained DPS like in MOBAs. Like it just doesn't really work. Like that kind of damage that gets peeled in like shreds. Like that has to be an archetype that's like defended. So I mean, and now here's the thing: maybe there's a comp, right? Like when you got a ton of heroes, maybe there's a comp where it's like, oh yeah, we can pull this off because there's some crazy kill lane that you can do in duo or something. But I feel like 90% of the time, probably more, 95% of the time, you need a ranged carry.
I mean, I don't disagree with you. I never picked the range carries when I played Paragon, just because the melee characters when I played Paragon, just because I prefer that. Like, I need to be give me my distance, right? That's what I want, right? And that's also why I hate ranged offlane. Like, it's just like it's very cheap. Like, I'm a melee character, and now you're just playing range. It's like this is not like this is a very cheese situation. Like, let's actually be like man to man. Quit being back there like a little sissy. Get up here and let's actually fight it out and see who wins the fight. Yeah, so I'm on your side when it comes to the thought of it. I've seen some good Yins. I've seen some people that just been able to play it and do it. I don't know, but then again, I'm not that 1% guy, so I don't know. Like maybe up in your guys' thing, you guys won't ever see it. But maybe Yin's gonna be that niche character for the what'd you call it? What do you shit or gold players? Maybe that's maybe that's gonna be maybe this should just be a player for us.
Yeah.
I mean, like as a Smite player, there are assassins that get played in the duo lane, but the only time that it happens is when you have a carry played in the mid lane. So like you just get a second assassin on your team and you play full dive because you have an assassin in Smite. You play assassins in the jungle, so you just play full dive and your carry.
Doesn't that hurt you for not having? Doesn't that hurt you for not having AP though? Like, don't you need AP in the game? Like, just or like having?
Debatable.
Yeah. Okay.
You can have like there are AP assassins that you can play in the jungle.
Okay.
But yeah, no, like you just put an assassin in the duo lane and they can run down the enemy carry. Like, because in Smite the duo lane is only a duo lane for like 6 minutes and then the supports leave. So like that's how it works. But you have to have a carry in the mid lane to do that, right?
Okay.
Like I just worry that if you have an assassin, like Krashy is saying, like a melee carry assassin in the duo lane in this game, I just don't think it works. Like I don't know. Maybe it was different in Paragon when it was slower. I just don't see it.
And when I'm saying that, I'm also like, I'm not even thinking of laning phase. I'm thinking team fight, right? Because like I'm thinking about what does a team fight look like if you don't have a ranged carry. And so yeah, like let's say I'm gonna bullshit here, but let's say like Richter Yin is just a disgusting lane, right? Then yeah, play it and then throw like a Murdoch mid or something just because you can. Because then you'll get like some dumb kill lane, a safe enough mid lane where you just kind of chill and farm, and then you scale your ranged carry into team fights. So yeah, I can see something like that happening where like that could be the case where it would make sense to me to
let's table this conversation and move on to a little bit. We can use it to the next here, right? So we know she's the jungle. The next September 12th, we're getting a jungle Serath, and then Krashy will be playing hardcore. Maybe we'll even put a video out for you guys on YouTube.
Hell yeah.
But the next month, version 12, we're getting a carry, is what they're saying. They're letting us know we're getting a carry. Now, if you look at our heroes that are left over, the only carries that we have left, and it depends on how you want to label them, is Grim, Yin, and again, how you want to label him and how he gets reworked with possibly Wraith, right? Some people don't even count him as a carry. So again, that's we don't know how his rework is. So what are your guys' thoughts? Ro, since you're the one that played the most Paragon, who do you think the carry is going to be in version 12?
Honestly, I like because they came out with Serath, I think they would have to come out with Grim.
Okay.
I don't think he really fit the Storm per se, but
I don't think anybody fits the aesthetic that it's the OG hero. The OG hero, sorry, the original Omeda hero is the only one that fits the theme when it goes to that stuff, in my opinion. How they work
too.
Yeah, or Quang. I do believe Quang too, but yeah, I think Grim just because. Yeah, that's the only like you saying like real ADC like marksman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I honestly do think it's him. I guess he do got some lightning going on with his little art and stuff too. So.
I mean, you're right. His little ball that he shoots out does kind of have a little lightning to it. Possibly. Okay.
Right.
Efsixx, what are your thoughts? Who do you think is going to be for the carry?
Easily, I think it's gonna be Grim.
Grim?
I think a lot of people want Grim.
Okay.
Makes the most sense. I don't think Yin is gonna. Like I said, I don't think she fits just yet. I think they're gonna need to do a little bit more with the items, to really get her to kind of play into how Predecessors played right now, and that's just me. And I don't think Wraith either, just because as well. I think they need probably a little bit more items, especially to counter the rewind, unless they already have that figured out. But I'm not in IT, so.
Well, the hard part with Wraith in that situation is they've already announced that they're going to rework him, so we don't know what that means in the sense that he might even have 3 completely different abilities that just are not Wraith.
And Ace was in my stream this week talking about Wraith rework and how he was asking me in like my chat how we think that rewind should be handled in this game. So like if it is Wraith, they don't have him quite figured out yet, right? Like I don't think those questions if they've got
or he's asking you those questions just to kind of get your guys' thoughts, like because maybe he wants to know what you guys are thinking because he is the next hero. Maybe like let's get an idea. I mean, because technically they still have a whole month to do some tweaking. Like maybe they already have iterations ready for him. They want to hear what you guys thought, you and your community thought with that. It's kind of like a little.
Give him self rewind. I don't want to get rewound by a.
That's what I said. Or give him forceful stasis. That's what I said. Let him stasis an enemy, but don't let him rewind him.
My take is I think they're gonna put Wraith mid.
Yeah, me too. I agree.
I honestly think he could be reworked into a mage, kind of like Kronos.
Okay.
I think that's where they're going to be putting them.
Well, speaking of mid, that's the next hero. Do you think he's going to be the next one?
Iggy.
Yes. Nah, I think Iggy.
It's time. The Reddit memes are too strong.
You think Iggy's the mid? You don't think Iggy's the solo?
Nah, I think
Iggy's the mid, man.
Okay.
Iggy. Yeah, Iggy definitely gonna be mid lane.
I don't see Iggy or Wukong until the very last heroes to come.
Nah, it's gotta be Iggy, man.
Yeah,
okay, listen. Okay, so here's my
unless they're
thoughts,
baiting us. This is a fake roadmap and they're baiting us, bro.
Okay, wait. So they said console was gonna be early season 3, right?
Right.
So they said early season 3, and what's been the biggest question in all of Predecessor? Console win. I think that early season 3 is console, like that we were getting the console win question answered. I think the mid is their people in their memes and their Reddit posts are getting their Iggy. I think it's like if it's time for console, like it's time for Iggy. Like
the old 1-2.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I
hate.
I mean, that's fine in that situation.
MOBA heroes.
I mean, let me look here because I know they have.
Iggy.
You think they'll hit him with the straight up 1-2 console and Iggy in the same patch?
No shot.
They got to deliver this season. You know what I mean? They got to rebuild the rapport. You know.
Okay.
That would be something else, man.
Iggy.
So mid lane, our options are Iggy, Wraith,
Grim-ish.
Grim did play mid. Grim did. I mean,
but
when his alt went
I had a
through the
friend
walls,
who only played Grim mid. That's the only reason I say it. That's the only character he played.
Yeah, but that's like people. That's like saying Rev mid because that way people play him in Pred.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say Rev. I wouldn't say Rev's a mid laner.
I don't even know what Grim's abilities do. I know.
I think that's our only options. I think it's just Iggy and Wraith really. Because Zinx is a solo laner. Wukong's a solo laner. Boris is a jungler solo laner. And Terra is a solo laner. And Aurora was a solo laner, right? And Kwang was a solo laner.
Well, they're all kind of brawlers, right? Like half those characters you could play in the jungle too, right? But
Yeah, you can put him in the jungle if you want to. I mean, I wouldn't say Terra was the best jungler, but yeah,
well,
she's
not like
all right.
Terra, but like Aurora.
Right. Yeah.
And yeah.
I mean, we've talked about it before.
Aurora kind of mid. Yeah, that's possible. Aurora.
How they like release their characters, like when they start off, they're like, we're gonna release the easier ones and then we're saving the hardest ones for last. And there's no way I think they're gonna be able to balance Iggy. I still don't even think they know how to balance Iggy just quite yet, especially with the turret.
There is no balancing turret heroes.
They have to rework his whole kit, man.
Exactly, and they're gonna have to do the same thing with Wukong. So I don't think Iggy.
But that's the beauty of what Pred is, right? You can't rework the whole kit, right? Like you got to keep it true. So it's like it's a challenge, but you find a way.
I love that you're saying that, Krashy, because you're the one. No. I literally love it. I literally love it because that's how I've been. But you're the guy coming from this, like, hey, I don't know what the fuck Paragon is. Like, just give me the character. But you're like, no, you got to keep it true. I'm like,
if that's the promise of the game, you got to do it, right? Like even for me, like I wouldn't even.
I mean, the name of the game is Predecessor. Like it before Paragon, so it's got to be something at least, keeping true to Paragon, right? And that's just my how I feel about it. Like, I understand people having issues with it, but that's just the way it is for me.
I put this in a stream chat one day. I don't remember what the context was, but I was saying like on launch they should do, or sometime they should do some kind of event that explains the timeline lore wise as to how this is like a prequel to everything that happened in Paragon. Like I think it'd be cool if they did some kind of like event or some kind of lore that explained.
To me it's pretty simple. It can't come after Paragon because Paragon shut down.
Yeah.
Therefore, it has to come before. There's your timeline.
But no, like I think it'd be cool if they did it in like, dude, I'm a freaking superhero Marvel DC fan. Like, give me.
Oh no, I'm totally with you, bro.
Like,
they should
rewrite the timeline. Like, do some crazy writing where like some event happens and you had to go back in time. Like, I don't know. I'm crazy about shit like that.
All right. Okay,
we don't know who the offlaner is.
Now their original hero comes in version 15. So technically we're getting 5 heroes in this one when we're normally supposed to get 4 like per season, right? So they've already admitted that this season's going to be 5 months long. Okay. And in this original hero, I mean unless we're getting a hero more than once a month.
Yeah, I think you have to I think for now you have to assume it's 5 months long.
Right? Am I wrong? Or am I that's just the way I'm looking at it. That's okay.
I think it's a safe assumption is the best way of putting it.
Okay. All right. So I'm like, well, wait a minute. What did I do wrong? It's like Efsixx like, did. All right.
I think they bring out 2 heroes in the end.
Okay.
I think they bring out 2 heroes in the end. I think they want to.
But they're all listed for different patches.
True. Yeah. Very different patches here.
And we know that.
So unless they shift to like a patch every 3 weeks, right? Like I feel like 5 months is a safe assumption.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyways, in this picture, there's this claw thing in the back here. What do you guys think? What do you guys think this? Oh, first, shout out to our boy exclusive. Our last post when we saw the name of the announcement of the name of the season, the word here, exclusive went through and found another. It was the Twin Blast one, and in the same writing it said Twin Blast, and him and his chat were able to figure out that this says Emerald. So it says harness the storm, and then emerald is this word, this like hieroglyphic word here.
Harness the emerald storm.
Sure. What does that mean? I don't know.
But that changes it.
Does it? I don't. I just think emerald is. I personally think emerald's the code name for this hero. This original hero.
But like if it is the code name, like that's a weird place to write it. The Twin Blast one was just like on one of the posters, right? I mean, they put it in the middle of harness the storm for a reason. Is it harness the emerald storm? I mean, otherwise, why not put it at the bottom?
I mean, it also could just be the way it's written. It could be emerald harness the storm.
All I know is that I'm vibing with Distress's message in chat. I think it's going to be a robot scarab.
Windu said scarab earlier too.
Yeah, so I'm feeling it being some kind of weird, creepy, big ass beetle.
Here's what I'm picturing based off the image. I'm picturing like a Mayan mask character that like harness the storm. It's like a Quetzalcoatl kind of like worshiper summoner guy with like a big Mayan mask. That's what I'm picturing.
That's what I had thought too, because
like a windstorm, the Emerald Storm, windstorm. Yeah.
I think.
Oh yeah.
I like looking at it too, I think it's also gonna be a support player too. Just because they're releasing a jungle ADC mage offlane, I think it's gonna be a support player too. So definitely, if it is a claw, it could have a grab ability, right? Some they grab and move somebody, might be good.
Predecessor Blitzcrank, like, but not Richter.
Let's go.
But not Richter. Yeah, no, I think I agree. I think it's going to be a support as well. One, they haven't done an original support hero yet. Two, there really isn't the leftover heroes that are left. There aren't supports left, so for them to get a support is needed to kind of make it fresh to the hero pool that we have currently. So yeah, I agree that I think it's going to be a support, and that would be cool to have like another maybe it's a hold, like but by doing it he's like locking himself down, like, right, you CC yourself by holding them there, kind of like a Richter ultimate, but you're like, you grab them and you're holding the ADC, like,
well, like Kepri dash and Smite. Right?
Yeah, Kepri. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
I have no clue. I don't play that game.
Yeah, he dashes forward and grabs someone and then pulls them back, but he can't do anything while he does it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Pinzo.
Yeah.
I'm thinking the same thing with Soul Reaper. I don't know if you guys played Paladins before. There's a character that kind of fits this, and his name is Gronk from Paladins, or Grok or whatever. Grok. It sounds weird whenever he says it, but it fits the vibe. And I don't,
lightning.
Yeah, I don't think it's far off.
Grok is sick, bro. That's what I'm picturing. Is like a Mayan kind of big mask wind character, like Quetzalcoatl character, you know?
Okay.
Have his totems in lane. Oh,
so Krashy,
please no totems.
I know you're a jungle main.
I am a jungle main.
And Serath is obviously slated for the jungle, but like, is she the most excited thing in this situation, or the unknown is more exciting to you? Which one is it for you?
So the beauty of not being a Paragon player is that I have no emotional attachment to any of these characters. So I think if you put it in front of me, like if you put a diagram in front of me that says jungle, carry, mid, offlane, and then you assume the last one's a support, then yeah, I'm definitely most excited for Serath. Also, so I had this initiative. I kind of succeeded, where I tried to ignore looking at Paragon heroes as much as possible. Like, I try not to look at them, and people are like, "Oh, go look at that video," and I'm like, "No, like, stop it." So Serath was actually one of the ones that I didn't see anything on. So when they announced Serath, I went and watched the old videos, and I like shit myself. I was like, "Holy fuck! Like, this hero is cool. She does this fucking like evolution, and she turns all crazy, and yeah, she's sick." She just looks like a dive bomb assassin that just beats the shit out of people, and yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, all right. Real quick before it goes away, Big Tone says maybe you can grab and hold enemies or allies like a huge claw. Could you imagine instead of being like a Richter hook, you could just do you save your enemies instead, kind of like a phase link, but like more of like a Richter hook instead of it being a link. I'd be okay with that.
Project Loki, there's a character with Richter hook, except you can hit allies with it.
Okay. See, I like that. I like the ability to possibly get you know,
and enemies with it.
I like that.
I'm starting to get red herring vibes from this image, though. Like, I'm starting to think that this is not a hook because it looks like a hook, and now it's like tech that the character uses, right? Like if we were talking about Grok, like maybe this is the end of the staff that this character holds, right? Like this tech-based.
I'm telling you, mask.
Or a mask. I mean, if you look at it, it kind of looks like a mask because those are like some breathing tubes, and there's like a circle where the nose would be. Like it could very well be a mask.
I mean, no, like Aztec mask, the big giant mask. That's what I'm picturing.
Yeah, I definitely see it.
Okay.
I see the claw, but I'm starting to get red herring vibes about it being a claw.
Intars does say in our partner chat that he thinks it's the steel, the Mayan steel, like the little headdress thing that he wears.
Yeah.
Something like that. So, okay.
Yeah, Quetzalcoatl, right, dude. And harness the Emerald Storm, wind character, Quetzalcoatl, wind god. There you go. Boom. I fucking cracked it, man. Come back to me in 5 months.
There you go. All right. Bader Dragon does say, make a good point.
What is this?
With Emerald being the color, Bader does say like that's like the whole Yin's thing is she wears the emerald color, you know, suit and stuff like that in her main outfit. So maybe she is the carry that fits into this. Argument back to that the ranged or mid-range melee.
What will
They can put her there. Doesn't mean I'm gonna call her a carry. But
That's scary, man.
And also, for what it's worth, I did watch the Yin video. I let my chat one day like bully me into
Talk you into it. Yep.
Sick. She looks so sick. She's so cool. So yeah, looking forward to her if it is her. Cool.
All right. Okay. And, her alt is a tornado too, right? That's more of a storm situation. She does kind of fit the theme. Now, but we go back to season 1 when we're talking about Huntress and Terra and fucking Countess, you know, and not has nothing to do with like Terra fit that thematic perfectly, and she wasn't a part of it. Like, well, why? If so, again, if we're fitting,
I mean, season 2 had one character that
right
fit besides Lizard, right? Like Greystone is the only other character that even at all came close to the theme in season 2.
Yep.
So
It's a loose thing they do, maybe, you know.
loose.
well, I think the thematic is literally only for
I think so too.
the original Omeda hero, and I don't think the thematics fit. Now, other heroes you could make it work, like Greystone. Like okay, sure, you know, his ultimate.
You're reaching if you know, but
right, you know, so it's not exactly that, but it's there. But the thematic is Xerath. The thematic is Huntress, you know. So I think the thematic here is literally just the original hero, whoever that may be. I'm gonna have to look up these Scarab things, because to me, when I think Scarab, all I think of is the Grux skin, the ruby Scarab Grux skin. That's what I think when I think of a Scarab. I don't think of like when I think Scarab, I think Egypt, and this is giving me like very much Aztec Mayan vibes instead.
Yes.
Like that's my take.
Yeah.
So maybe, because when I think Scarab, I'm thinking beetle. Maybe they can have a dung beetle skin for them. So for all of us gold people, we can just push the shit around, because that's all, we're just shit players, like Krashy said anyway. So that'd be perfect.
True.
Like one of my,
I say that I'm not even gold. I say that I'm actually below that, you know. So I'm the one being pushed around by the dung beetle one.
my buddy's favorite tank character from Heroes of the Storm was a Nubarak, and he's like a big, like beetle looking bug thing.
He's a Scarab.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that would be sick. I don't know, just that, like the thought of it kind of gives me that feel. Like that'd be cool.
It's mixed signals for me, because like Scarab to me screams Egypt, whereas the picture screams like Aztec to me.
It does. Yeah, it definitely has an Aztec-y vibe.
I don't even see Aztec, because I'm looking at it. To me, it looks like a mechanical claw. That's all I see out of this. Yes.
I don't see it, man.
There ain't no way.
I see, but that's the thing. That's the irony to me, is that I see Aztec, but I see mechanical Aztec. Like I see it as like a futuristic carrying of the culture, right? Like I see. So I think that there's going to be like an underlying theme of Aztec like shit here, but maybe that this is the tech that they wear. They're just keeping with their culture or something like that. Like I don't know. I see a mix.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can see that, but I don't see like a claw. So like I feel like that's just the character's like just persona. Like he just has horns that looks like claws, but I don't think that has to do with like him having a claw. Is what I'm trying to say.
That literally looks like
is a railgun.
I don't know how you guys.
I see railgun.
What? It even. All right, you guys. I need to take you guys into a shop class. I'm gonna show you a clamp. It literally looks like it's got the little hand, like where the two ends meet. That's exactly what this looks like. Like that's I don't understand.
Flip it upside down and put 50 cents in the machine. Tell me you're not picking something up with that claw machine.
Right there, that too. But I mean, these little pieces.
Like, look closer. It looks like it has eye sockets.
Yeah.
Like it's a mask, bro.
Eye sockets? What?
Look at it. It looks like it looks like it's got eyes and a nose, and it's got like a Drongo breathing apparatus. That shit's a mask.
You know, it looks like a V12 engine. Let's be honest. And
damn, that's sticking out.
I do.
6.0.
I do see tubings, but of course, if it's a mechanical claw, you got to have hydraulics to it somehow. So the tubings, yeah, I get that 100%. But I see this more of an actual like claw with these two ends meet and pinch together.
You know what? I'm just sitting here thinking, I wish I could be inside the Omeda chats as they're just going back and forth, laughing their asses off about what the fuck
Yeah,
we're
they're probably
talking
just, like,
about.
laughing,
They're
right?
probably Yeah.
Mask.
Mask.
I'll put money on it right now. Who wants
How
to
much
make
you
a
got?
bet for 5 months from now?
I mean, I got some channel points I could use.
I don't know how much I'm willing to pay for those.
I'm getting
Looks like ability art to me. Empty says looks like ability art.
Well, like, okay, so if you go in game, like Chimera's art is just like the two axes crossed over. Like, it could just be like the art that signifies the hero without it having some literal translation. Like, the literal translation is just like, yeah, Chimera runs around with two axes. So yeah, I don't know. I just think it's like a piece of tech that the thing is going to use, and so it could be a mask. I think it could be like the end of a staff.
Gated.
Like I think it could be something.
Gated Sly makes a good point. When you go into the hero page, there's always like an art thing that goes with them. Shaded Sly, I think it's the official hero art, like for the hero page. So
It's the new map. I hate it here.
Hey, I just seen. I was like,
jeez almighty.
It was comedy, bro.
Two lane,
bro.
2 lanes. That's it. Obviously a fork. I mean, well, technically it could be. Yeah, going to be.
Anything can be a fork if you're brave enough.
True.
Yeah, no, I definitely see a claw there. And that's all I saw when I first saw it. I wish I get the that symbol now without the Omeda original hero and the version 15 on there, so I can just see just that
version of it on the full roadmap. Maybe we'll get a better picture of it tomorrow.
maybe.
Enhance.
So, but speaking of that, tomorrow we do get the full roadmap that was announced today in Discord. We get the full roadmap, and Friday we get the patch notes for version 11. So that'll be something we could definitely go over on next Predcast. That's gonna be good conversation for sure. But what do you guys think needs to be on this roadmap that we haven't seen yet? Like, Krashy, what do you think needs to be on this roadmap that's gonna help Omeda right now?
Needs. It's a very particular word, so I'll answer literally. Because what I think the game needs is not what I want. I think the game needs, which we already know because they've said it, is to not overpromise. So I'm very pleased with that. I think that's a really good thing to do. I think the number one thing it needs is truly obtainable goals, like things that they will absolutely hit, and then they can dump more stuff on us. Probably with this, I'm expecting hero acquisition to be the biggest one. Like, I think that system is like a little overdue, in the sense that like it literally is overdue, because we were supposed to start like the 25 heroes ended at Moragesh. Yeah. So we were supposed to start that back at Moragesh. And I think that unlocking heroes via the contract system is going to feel like a sense of progression. I feel like a reason to play, even if it's just for the sake of unlocking the character. Now, for me personally, I'm still very curious if there's going to be a casual currency for skins or something.
He said 4 skins.
Yeah, I did.
Oh my god.
I
hate it here.
I would be very disappointed if a lot of these recolors are just only platinum based skins, or if a lot of the content is only platinum based. I think that the feeling of being able to get on the game and like sink your fucking life into it for a reward is awesome. So I know that you won't have that for unlocking heroes because you can play the contract, and I'm assuming you can skip the contract by paying platinum. I don't know. I think
they said that.
Yeah, I think that would be smart to do that. So you can probably do the contract or pay the platinum. But for me, I'm really hoping that there's a casual currency, among other things that I hope. But yeah, I think the game needs hero acquisition. It's probably the biggest thing.
Okay. Ro, what do you think that what needs to be on the roadmap for this game to be successful?
In my opinion, I honestly do feel like they need some type of grindy aspect. If that is the hero acquisition, or if that's masteries. or something that we could attain like weekly. You know what I mean? If it's like, if they start doing weekly things to allow us to get like borders, and if they start like adding those type of things in the game with new UI, the borders, the profile pics, just some different, like just something slight, just to, you know, to allow us gamers and us people that play it to kind of separate from everybody else. And that's just the main thing that's missing from me. You know, I feel like I just hop on the game, I just play it for fun because I love the game. And it's not none that I'm like hunting within the game. So I hope that they do add something that I can hunt within the game. So.
Okay. Pinzo, what are your needs?
Number one for me and chat is on my same page as AI improvements. Whether that's to the actual AI game mode, I don't really care, but like lane minions need fixed. Like that's probably number one for me. Other than that, things that would be on a roadmap, I'm trying to think. Gosh, I had one and I lost it. It's in my head somewhere.
Well, while you're thinking of that, I gotta say that Obey the Papaya is like loving you right now. Obey the Papaya, like daily, has been, you know, complaining about these minions and how you're not able to control them. So I agree with you. I agree.
Two things in the game that I complain about on a daily basis, and it's minion AI and a auto attack speed penalty. Those are the two things that I complain about on a daily basis. I don't think they're going to fix the auto attack penalty. So lane minions are the next thing on the list.
Right. Well, that one, but the lane minions. So the auto attack penalty, that's not a bug. That's how they have made the game. That's how they have operated.
And
the minions,
is how it is intended.
Right.
I just don't agree with it.
Right,
so,
and that's fine.
About it every day.
Right. And
thing that I complain about every day is something that they have acknowledged is not very good, which is minion AI.
Yes, and that is the way it's working is more of a buggy situation, because like you literally can sit there working on a minion, like, as you're hitting the minion, it's focusing you, then out of nowhere just beelines it to the tower. Like, what are you doing, dude? Like I'm the aggro. Where are you going?
Well,
and like it's just
funny.
like,
the
come on.
Minions are just on dummy mode, right? Like they will attack what's in front of them until another minion comes by, and then a minion takes priority, and it's like, that's dumb. Like it should just that secondary rule that the minions have where they slip past anything because another minion's there. It's like, why are you so horny for the other minions? Like, I'm standing right here. Look at me, I'm the prize. Like I don't know. It seems like a light switch to me, but then again, I'm not game dev, so I don't think it's easy, I guess. But whatever makes them ignore me to go to the other minions, just turn that part off, and I feel like it's like mostly fixed.
All right. Efsixx, what are your needs?
Me, honestly, I obviously we just need some type of progression system, whether that comes by. I think what would really, like, even if I know it sounds small, but like just they would probably need a currency to go in with it, but daily / like weekly events. And for the love of God, put some health numbers above the jungle camps, because I think that is the most ridiculous thing that is still not into this game. And
it's so long.
Krashy.
And it's so important. Like, if you're not a jungler, dude, like just miss smiting a steal or getting your shit stolen because there's just not a value above your blue or your red, it's so annoying. And that one, like, I'm not a game dev. That's got to be fucking easy. I'm sorry. Has to be. It has to be easy. You already have it in the game on other camps, like on Prime and on the other buffs. Please put a number above the red buff, above the blue buff. And while you're at it, put it above gold and green too.
Yes.
Like, please.
Yes. I agree. I'm not a jungle man at all. I hardly even touch jungle, but I understand the pain in that situation. So I completely agree. That definitely needs to happen. Now, one of the things you said there, Efsixx, you said weekly, and well, you and Ro both said weekly and daily quests or goals or whatever.
Yes.
And you brought up in-game currency. Do they have any, like, when we talked to Robbie, it didn't sound like there was any intentions of having an in-game currency, because like the heroes were going to be, you know, you would do a contract, and then that's how you unlock the heroes or whatever. So it's like, I think they're missing, if they do that, they do it without an in-game currency, I think they're missing a good avenue for the grinder gamer.
So let me I think Rose said a little bit about it as well. Not necessarily it needs to be an in-game currency, but give me daily events and weekly events to see, okay, if I do my daily events for today, I'll get 10 platinum or something, right? Like something that's just so simple, but it's so minuscule that I have to grind it out, but it's free and it's like free money essentially, right? Or like if I'm doing a weekly event, I can get this week, like maybe an old, one of the Greystone things are going to give us, the icons or whatever. Like you could unlock this icon with this, or just have icons made for like different characters and stuff. Like, hey, you complete this one this week. Hey, you get this icon, or just something small in the game. And I think that'll just be
okay. Off of that,
enough.
Sorry, I just remembered what I thought of before I forgot it. The skins that they showed us like 2 months ago, the white and gold skins that we're getting in season 3. For like Faye, Narbash,
Oh,
and
yes.
Sparrow.
Yeah, the
remember?
Ascension skins. Yes.
The Ascension skins, those, dude, like once a month or every 2 weeks, have a challenge of some kind to complete, and you get an Ascension skin for free. And then you make them, you make them so that they can't be unlocked after season 3 or after EA, right? Once the game goes free to play, you can't get them anymore. So that the EA players like it's something to grind for that you will never be able to get again.
Well, and see, this is why I love I don't think that they're ever going to do battle passes, and I have my qualms with battle passes in some games, but this is why I love the concept of exclusivity time gated, right? Like it's FOMO, which is a smart business decision. Let's be fucking honest, right? Like you build
100%.
something that you force people to either miss out on or buy, but then it's like, dude, like, oh, I have that shit. I'm OG as fuck, right? Like respect me and my prestige for having just been around because I did the thing that they asked me to do, or because I paid for it. I was around at that time. So I love the idea of exclusivity. I think that things like that as ranked rewards needs to absolutely be a thing.
Yes.
Whether it's a banner, a portrait, an icon, a title, a skin, like exclusivity, which is also tied to prestige, which is tied to an experience that was given within a time window. So important, because I can show that off and I can explain the history behind it. And then there will be people that will look at it and it's like this longing thing, and they can't have it. You can't have it because it was for that moment. That kind of shit is, dude, I think that shit is chef's kiss. And it can be icons. It can be the smallest rewards all the way up to the biggest rewards, which would be skins. But those kinds of things, beautiful.
Isn't like the birthday cake profile icon? Isn't that like something like this, like only early access people can get? Isn't that like something that they already got somewhat in the game?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, and we do have stuff like that for sure. Like the early access.
Well, like the early access, the skins you got in your bundle.
Yeah.
Are like that. But give us, like, my point is like with the Ascension skins, and it doesn't have to be just the Ascension skins, right? But like, I think that that's a good place to start. Of like, let us grind to unlock one of those. Like, you know, even if it's every month, you know, like play X amount of games in a month to unlock this skin, and then it'll never be unlockable again. You know. Yeah. And it lets the players in EA, like Krashy is saying, you know, in 5 years, you load into a game and someone has Ascension Richter, and you're like, oh damn, this guy's an OG. Like this guy's been playing this game for 5 years, right?
I get what you're saying. So kind of like how like you play Smite, so like Uller, Ice, and Fire skins, something like that. Like you can't even obtain nothing like that. Okay.
Similar, except like I picture it being free, like a challenge of some kind, right? Like obviously like tier 5s in Smite are like expensive, but
it's kind of like the World Championship ones, you know?
Yeah.
So it's not like anything like great, but like it's good.
It's not like a tier 5 skin, but it's a cool skin that you can't get anymore, right? Like Alienware Raw, like that's a skin that you can't get. Like there are very specific times that codes come out, like every now and then, but like realistically, like that's just not a skin you can get anymore. So like I load into a game, I have 10 cool Raw skins, but I play only with Alienware.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I agree. Anything to grind for. Again, I'm playing Paragon Neverprime right now because I'm able to grind on something or grind for something. Grind on something. I'll end stream for that. Anyways, but so and Windu says I would play 40 hours a week for Prestige, something to show off. You know, and Prestige. I mean, I know Prestige mainly in like Call of Duty games, right? You do so much with your level, and then you're able to you hit the Prestige and you kind of start over. But you have this nice border that just kind of reflects that you hit that Prestige and stuff like that. So something something to grind for. And again, I think the easiest thing they can do is masteries, right? And one of the things that I think they should definitely copy or like do something similar to or whatever that what Paragon the Overprime is doing is when you hit level 3 or you hit a certain level in Paragon the Overprime on their masteries, you get this little hidden story for that character. So it makes you want to grind all the characters to get the hidden story to be able to understand a little bit about their lore. And it opens up the lore. I know a lot of people in Pred community want to know about the lore of what Pred is. And I think that'd be a good way to kind of introduce some of that stuff and kind of give you a little bit more. They have been introducing a little bit here and there with like their hero releases with Serath, with Kira. But like we want Murdoch's lore. We want Richter's lore. We want, Rampage's lore too. Like just little snippets, like a little hidden story, little like perfect thing that Paragon Overprime did. I want something similar to that with Pred. I think that'd be perfect to have.
So I gotta jump in and say that I've never been much of a lore head kind of a person. Like it almost is always one of those things that I can easily shove aside, but I definitely get why people can dive crazy into some of these universes. Now, one game that I was very much so into, at this point, almost God rest its soul, because it's basically in the grave, that did lore so well and still didn't do enough, was Overwatch. Amazing world building and universe building, and I don't know if it's possible. I mean, I think it's possible. I guess it's more of like a money and a talent kind of thing. But dude, animations and cinematics, like for releases, for seasons, like world build because you can, right? Like I look at some of these old Paragon videos. Holy shit, the shit they used to do with Paragon. Like the animations they had in Paragon were insane. I really hope Pred can bring that kind of heat, right? Like put these characters in shorts, right? Like these 2-minute things. And when a hero releases, pump out some nasty fucking animation where you're bringing them out, right? And don't always just do it in engine, right? Like sometimes do animation, sometimes use an engine. I do think that like that's what takes a game from being a good gameplay experience to being like a big ass amazing product, right? Is like the marketing that goes behind doing some of these big cinematic pieces. And again, I know I'm talking about a Blizzard game, so you gotta, I get what I'm saying, but I think if you can lean into that, or if you have even if you just have the passion to try to lean into that could be a great thing.
You're not wrong though. Fault did it. Fault had some pretty good cinematics going into their hero releases, and Paragon Overprime just did it with their Richter release. They did a pretty sweet Richter release video, little cinematic that kind of hinted towards some of his lore as well. So you're 100% right. Bringing these release videos are a lot better than just having a little highlight video and explaining their hero kit, over the highlight video, which is still good. Still needs to happen, but with the hero release video should be a little spicier.
Yeah, and I definitely think that like I'm not putting this as like a point of criticism against what they've done currently, because it doesn't really make sense to do that when you're not marketing, right? Like, why would you spend the time or the money to do crazy animations? I'm definitely talking free to play when it comes to in the future when eyes are on and the gates are open. Yeah, dude, be nasty with it.
Yep.
I got one thing to add. This is going back a little bit. I had it and then you were still talking and then I forgot it, but I just remembered it again.
That's all good.
I don't know why. I'm kind of spacey tonight. But
probably the headband.
Mastery skins.
Need a different one.
I don't think this has been said anywhere, but in my stream chat, I had a little guy called RGSace in there. He said that they are planned on dropping Mastery with V.11 or V.12. Sorry, a patch after Season 3.
Ooh,
that's definitely new information to me. Yeah.
That's new information, and that
next week is when they are slated to drop it. He said, subject to change.
Obviously.
Goal.
Okay.
Cool. That's huge. That's huge because again, I'm telling you, it's needed. It's needed. Like I'm a guy that I played Fault like every day that I played games. I played it all the way till it said, "Hey, we're done." Or if there was something like a Pred like alpha that's only this weekend, or if there was an ethereal alpha only this weekend, that was the only time I stepped away from it. I did the same thing with Pred release. All right, here we go. I'm playing this. And I've been chased away just because of just the feel of the game right now. And if I'm being chased away, I know other people are being chased away. And it's like, and I get it. It's early access. and it's actually healthy. Step away, play another game. But I'm just that guy. I'm a loyal guy that I play my game. This is the game I'm playing. This is what I want to play. I don't have interest to play other games, right? Or you gotta show me one fucking badass trailer of a game, and I'm like, when it gets me hyped, okay, I want to try this game out. You know, like last Friday, me and Windu did. Me and him co-opted A Way Out. It's a little prison break, co-op game. Badass. And now we're gonna do It Takes Two, I think. We're gonna be the husband and wife, and we're gonna help each other.
That's a cute couple concept.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Right. Well, we're gonna work on a relationship, or we're gonna get things fixed. So we're gonna do that later on. Don't have a scheduled date for that yet, but we'll work on that.
So which one of y'all is Logan Paul, and which one of y'all is Nina Agdal?
Is that the voice actress from him or something? Like, what was that? What?
No.
Oh,
that's too.
I know.
Social media.
Oh, I know nothing of that.
Get it either, Krashy.
I know Logan Paul is
Twitter,
YouTube
bro.
creator, but now is he the WWE guy, or is he the MMA guy?
Yeah. We're gonna skip past this one.
All right, because I only know the Paul brothers. They're both like big social media guys. That's all. I don't know. I don't know shit. My son could come out here and tell me more about him than I could. All right. But yeah. So it'll be that. It'll be fun to do that. But again, like I said, if it's chasing me away, I know it's chasing others away, and we can just look at SteamDB. We can see the numbers are kind of falling. We just need something. So that coming out version 12, that's going to be huge. If again stated, it is possible to change.
Subject to change.
Yep.
But that was said, and Reaper confirmed it that Ace said it in his chat as well.
So
right.
So for me personally, I've been kind of feeling like, I mean, up until now, which is why I think is the reason why I want to say it. I've had my expectations on season 3 as a very flat season. Like my expectations were like, we're gonna get more heroes, we're gonna get the new UI, hopefully the pace improves, but we're not actually gonna get a whole lot. So hearing that like V012 is gonna be like a big one or a huge update, that's very exciting. I did really quickly want to jump back a little bit. When you asked me what the game needed, I tried to be literal to the point of like what I thought the game needed and like what I thought we would get. I will say that I have one huge desire. I don't think we're ready for it, but it's the thing that I want the most. Is I want a like ranked preseason, like ranked beta season. I want a solo duo ranked mode that runs like 1 or 2 nights a week only, because that's really the only feasible way you can split the player base reasonably. And because at some point that system has to be tested too, right? I know it was promised, like ranked was promised in season 2. We didn't get it. I don't know if that's something that would happen in this season, but I'm looking forward to the day when they do decide to start testing ranked. I do think that the right way to do it is to bring it out like Saturday night, maybe Sunday night. Give it to us for 3-4 hours. Let us go wild with it, give our feedback, and iterate on it from there. So that's personally my biggest desire for the game. I want to grind, but I want to grind ranks. And I want to see what I can do, and I want to see what their icons, their ranked icons look like, and I want to see what their in-game leaderboard looks like. I want that whole experience. So,
all right. Windu says, whatever happened to community nights? I'm gonna say what I think happened, and I'll let you guys touch on that as well.
Nights,
the competitive nights. So I think that was a dev that is no longer with us. I think that was their project, and it didn't work very well, and they're no longer with us, so we're no longer doing it. That's my thoughts on that. What do you guys think?
I just think it was poorly designed in the first place.
On
like
paper, it was designed poorly. Like on paper, it didn't make sense as a system. Like a non-draft, no reward, 5-stack mode. Like why play it? Like people can just scrim, and like I think that there's some people that would enjoy that, but like for the people that
if there were rewards, I think there were people that would enjoy it.
Yeah. It's because of the fact that there was nothing behind it, and there was no like you're mirror matching the best comp every game if you really care, and that's boring. So like when you're competitive, you don't want to play the best comp. You know what I mean? Like when you're competitive, you actually don't want your team to get the best comp, because then it's a draft diff, and unless you're in tournament, that's boring. Like you're just gonna steamroll. So
I had fun. I only played it once, and I think me and Windu, we played. I think we had a team with us, and we played it, and I think we played 3 or 4 matches, and I had fun. We won enough till we went up against Ray and his team, and that wasn't fun, But then it's all right. I lost one. We dropped down, and I like it gave me Mortal Kombat, that ladder thing, that tower thing. You gotta you go up the tower and then you win, and then you lose, you drop back down one. You gotta keep winning. You gotta win your way the whole way to the top. It kind of gave me that vibe, and I enjoyed it.
Now you've struck gold, because this is where we start talking about the Fortnite model, which I know I just said a curse word. I'm so sorry.
Son of a bitch. Sorry, guys. I didn't have the mute button ready.
I'm not a big Fortnite fan these days, but
he said it again.
I have to give them credit for is that they made competitive play and tournament access accessible to everybody. They blew the fucking roof on that kind of a system where what you do, it doesn't have to be every weekend, but dude, once a month, once every few months, throw an in-game tournament with rewards too. Say, hey, this is a tournament, 5 stacks. The teams that perform in the X top percentage get these rewards. The teams that perform in this second tier percentages get these rewards. The teams, and then again, here, and I'm gonna say it, it's beautiful. Those rewards never come back. And that's how you engage people on the weekend, that 1 week a month or something, right? So and this isn't even really associated with esports, right? It's meant to be accessible for everybody, because I'm not asking them to run like an esports league. That shit can come later. You do some big it's a community tournament, right? And yes, there will be matchmaking. Yes, there will be good teams that play it. But dude, get your homies and see what y'all got, right? See how high up on that thing you can get for some rewards. Okay.
You brought up esports, and I've always had this question, because I'm a dog shit gold guy. Is esports only for that top 1%, or do they have hey, here's our gold esports team, here's our diamond leagues. Gold esports?
They have third-party platinum leagues. Smite does. They're just run by people on Twitch. They just run third-party platinum, platinum, diamond leagues. It's a thing.
Okay.
They're not it's obviously not esports level viewership, but they do exist.
Right. I'm not expecting that.
My thing with esports that I always loved was the inclusivity of anybody could make their story happen, right? The thing that made esports beautiful in the early days was that you signed up, bought a pass, showed up, and then you tried to perform. All of the kind of big esports you see now, and the attempt to franchising league, and the really big money gatekeeping and skill gatekeeping, that shit, I guess it has its place, but I think that there should always be that open door, right? There should always be that promise of that 16-year-old kid and his buddies that build a team that could be the best because they could show up, because they were allowed to, right? Because they were invited in. And so, I think the way you do esports in Pred is you run open events, and then that shit, it niches down into the teams that make it to the big LAN or some shit, right? Because I miss that about esports. I miss being able to buy a team pass and show up at an event and go play, and that's what it used to be, and that's what I don't know.
I mean, Smite just did that this year for the first time since season 2. They had Smite's a franchise league, but at the beginning of season 10, they said, hey, we're gonna run this tournament. Anyone can enter. You just enter as a 5 stack. It's best of ones until top 16. And they had 1,000 teams enter, or 800 teams enter, or something like that. And it got narrowed down, and then the top 16 teams got streamed on the the Smite Game Twitch channel. And I think the top team, or the top 2 maybe, at least got a chance to play into Smite qualifier circuit, or the challenger circuit, into the tier 2 scene. They got a chance to play into it, and it would that was cool. It was a really cool thing that they did.
Okay, but the reason that I ask is because I'm not at that 1%, right? But I am a competitive guy, and I enjoy a good competition. Like I said, those competitive nights and that little ladder, let me climb and see what I can do. I would love to actually be a part of a team that's I know that I'm here in the group where I play at. This is how I play. This is my level of play. I want to have a good competition, a PCC tournament just for us silver and gold people. I don't have to worry about Krashy just coming in and ganking me and destroying me all the time. I don't have to worry about a Pinzo gank or whatever, or just being shoved under tower just because that's the person I'm going against just destroys me. I want a good straight competition, but I follow esports enough to I know enough about them and know that they're actually climbing. huge enough, and even I knew about it before Choice sent me a tweet about it, or an X. He sent me an X. I don't know what is that. What is that? Shut up! This is stupid. Sends me a tweet about it, about Ohio State in their esports, and they actually have a pretty good esports team. I've been following Heroes of the Dorm.
To school.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, go back to school for, right? I've been following Heroes of the Dorms. I got my cousin, her boyfriend. He actually coaches a local college esports team. Like I understand how big this is becoming, but like, is it just for the 1%ers, or is it like we have esports for everybody? If you're a gamer, you can be in it.
I think competitive is for all, but the ability to have tournaments that are locked to your skill level is definitely more of like a one-off thing, right? Or like a secondary thing. Like the ability to be competitive, to dive into a tournament and try to make it to the top, definitely should be open for all. But
that's how PCC is.
Yeah,
anyone
exactly.
could sign up for PCC,
and that's great. But like the ability to have like a silver gold only tournament, like that can happen for the sake of doing it and kind of supporting the community. But I definitely don't think that that's like the goal, right? Like that's not like what we like. I don't know. Like I don't know. I don't see a big return on that other than having it be a fun thing that could happen every now and then, which is still not. I'm not saying it's not worth it.
No, I'm not saying that we need to like put funds into this and stuff and make that happen and make that. I just again, like you have, I don't know. I look at it like a huge sports fan, right? You have your NFL, which is your top 1%, we'll say, right? That's your players, right? Then you got your Division I college football, Michigan, right? And that's very entertaining to watch. And then, no offense, Pinzo, but you got your Montana States that are like, it's good for the
D1.
Yeah. Yeah. You got your Montana States, these FCS schools that are just like, okay, like, and it's entertaining for the local crowd or for the people that are like, hey, this is my university or whatever, or somebody that's that diehard fan, right? A diehard Pred fan will watch a silver and gold, a tournament, right? A diehard, football fan's gonna watch a Montana State football game if it's on TV. Like there's a viewership out there for everything, right? It's gonna happen if you put it on. Like we know that, hey, this week there's no PCC tournament, but we do got a silver gold tournament going on this week. There's gonna be people show up. There's gonna be viewers. I'm not saying you got to put a whole bunch of funds into it, but it could be something that could be promoted, and it just gives the silver and gold group of your player base, which is a big part of your player base. It gives them a platform to go on and just kind of be there, be that star.
That's why I think I like the idea of like that like once a month like weekend tourney thing, because it's like it's not really about who wins the tourney, it's more about how well did you do in the allotted tournament time. And you could do it in tournament format where so I guess there's two ways you could do it.
I'm just telling you right now, if you're doing what you're talking about, you're like everybody shows up. I'm not showing up. I know there's no point in me showing up when I'm going up against a Krashy and his team, or I'm going against Pinzo and his team. There's no point.
Yeah, but that's like what competitive gaming is. So
my question for you, Bearded, is like, would a silver and gold league bring the same amount of entertainment as watching the top 1% of players do?
No, just like a Montana State game doesn't bring the same amount of entertainment that Michigan football game, right? And I'm not saying it's going to be there, but you're going to have some.
I don't think it's quite a fair comparison.
But why is it not?
Because that's the difference between like watching your favorite team play and watching the best team play.
Michigan is one of the best teams,
and
Montana State is the favorite. And Montana State would be the favorite team. Like your favorite team is Montana State. Michigan's the favorite team. Michigan's the number one team. That's the perfect comparison.
I think the fun level is subjective. My point is maybe I think the better comparison would be crowd size. Right? How many people show up to a Michigan State versus an MSU game, right? Like that. I think that would be the more fair comparison. How many people would show up
Michigan
to a silver
State,
gold?
dude?
Whatever. My MSU versus Michigan, whatever. Like, if you have 80,000 people at a Michigan game, right,
110,000
and only holds
110,000. All right, get it right.
So that's the difference versus like if you have the top 1% in a tournament, you have 500 people in chat, and if you are doing a silver gold tournament, you maybe have 150 people in chat, right? Like I think that's the more fair comparison.
Right.
Like,
Again, go ahead.
Ultimately, like, what stops people? Like, what stops people from like exploiting that? Because you might, even though it's silver and gold,
Smurf accounts.
Yeah. Somebody make a Smurf, and then let's say Krashy make a Smurf or something like that. He like, oh, I'm silver and gold, and then he want to turn it, and it's like, did you really still have fun? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean that's
right now.
It would have to be something that would have to be regulated. You know, in a sense, so you have certain kind. Like Omeda said, you can see that like. Krashy makes an account like you've only got 10 games in this. You're sorry, you're not in the tournament, right? And then also when you get into the Discord for the Discord call, you know, for the tournament being hosted by whoever it's being hosted by, and they see Krashy's and you're like, sorry, Krashy, you can't. I know you're such and such account, but you're not being in this. We know that you're higher than that. Like it can be regulated in certain ways, and I'm not saying that you're going to get 1,000 views off of this. It's just something for you to hold and host. I'm not even saying you have to go all out like PCC and have a desk and have all this stuff, but it just gives you something that in between. Again, right now, if you're on Saturdays, right, you put a Michigan game on, I'm watching Michigan. I'm not going to go watch Montana State, but I'm a huge Michigan fan. I'm a huge football fan to the point that it's like, okay, it's Thursday night. There's no football on right now. Oh, Montana State's on. I'll watch. It's football. I'm going to watch football, right?
I'm with you, but there's a lot of people who wouldn't.
Okay, but again, I'm not saying we're not putting a bunch of money into this. I'm just saying if it just happens to be, it's like, hey, choice is like, hey, we're gonna, you know, I got some of the PCC guys. We want to do a small little tournament over here. You know, the silver golds only. Just put on something for the majority of the player base. You know, and it's just something small to do, something to have fun with. It's something I think is definitely possible. It needs work. I'm not saying I just thought of the perfect idea that everybody's just gonna blow up with it. But again, if you put on a tournament like what Krashy's talking about, just like the PCC tournament, I'm not showing up. There's no point in me showing up.
Yeah, I just have like a really big like difference in perspective on like what competitive is.
That's because you're at the top 1%. That's because you're at the top 1%. You guys are up there. It's easy for you guys to be like that.
I don't even think I'm that good. I'm like super out of practice and don't even play on teams.
Krashy's top 2% right now.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm shit.
Sure.
I've lost 1.7% of my win rate the more I play. No, I don't know. Look, yeah, it could be done. I don't know. That's my short answer. It could be done. It's a fine idea to do every now and then, I suppose. For like community.
The Red Clown says, Bearded, that sport is still very physical, while esport is just digital, except top 1%. Not many would be interested in lower tier tournaments. I completely disagree. Look at me right now. I am a bottom tier, streamer, and I have 100 viewers in here watching this stream right now. Over 100 viewers, right? I'm not saying we're gonna get exponential views. I don't know what PCC is getting. I don't know what those numbers are, so I can't use them as a counter. But even if you got just 20 people viewing, you got 20 people viewing. Like, and you're holding a tournament.
Like, put on a tournament.
Sure, I don't have the time for it right now. I mean, I would, but I would. I think if somebody came to me and they wanted to work with me, I would work with them. I would definitely do it.
Like, as more PCC, like a community I don't think it's worth it for them, but like as a content creator, I think you could do it yourself.
I'm not saying PCC does it. I'm just like, again, I would just use an example, like them stepping like choice, like, hey, I'm gonna do something on the side, not PCC related or whatever. That would just because I know they're doing it, and it doesn't have to be them. Like, it could be Pinzo CC. I don't care. Like, you want to do it. Like, hey, I got some friends that are, in the silver gold. I want to do something for them, and I'm going to use this. We're going to, have some fun. It could be whoever. It doesn't matter who it is. I'm just saying it's possible. And you obviously, if you were to schedule it the same week PCC had a tournament, you're just dumb in that situation, right? But you can, if you did it like right now, there's no PCC. People are coming high off that PCC 5. I want to watch some more action.
Yeah, if the question isn't possible, then like, yeah, I think, yeah, it's possible.
All right, so we got sidebar with that. I do want to ask, we got a little bit of time. Efsixx, what are your wants? All right, Krashy gave his wants. What are your wants?
My wants? I just want a ranked mode, to be honest with you. I think there's not necessarily because I think it's like something that we desperately needed. There's a lot of people that look at Omeda City and think they're hot shit, and I think they just need a ranked mode to put them down a peg, to be honest with you.
I definitely agree with that.
Also, I'm gonna spit a little bit of tea. There's a lot of fucking Omeda City boosters, by the way.
Yeah.
There's so many fucking people that boost. It's weird.
Well,
Like,
if
and
you
when
play at 2 a.m., you're playing against shitters, bro.
Well,
Like,
no,
that's just
not
all
even
there is to it.
not even 2 a.m. boosters. I'm like talking about people that get an account, that Smurf, that have like 7 games played. They duo a trio for 10, 15 games, and then they buy another account or find another friend to play with. Like, there are literally people that are in the like 28, 29, 3Ks that literally play with brand new accounts all the time. Like, I don't care enough to like go through the list and like bring up the screenshots, but like I was literally just deep diving Omeda City one day, and I was like, dude, this is giga weird. You got 2, 3, 4 stacks of people playing with brand new accounts every week.
Nah, facts. I definitely agree with that because I see it a lot too, and I just be thinking like what's the point of even?
I'm
like,
2.4K. I'm 2.4K, and my point gains are like +6, +8, and they're 3K +17, +19, and I'm like, yeah, okay.
Bro, I've
and their
seen
buddies on
3Ks getting like +75 on brand new accounts.
And it's like, it's not even like, I don't even care about Omeda City. It's literally just the fact that there's those people just come out of nowhere and be like, dude, my teammate is trash, or they go on to Pred Discord, or like go to like some random Discord. It's like, oh my goodness, Omeda fixed the MMR. But at this point, is it really the MMR, or is it just really a skill issue?
For me,
people,
I think this is it's just so simple. If you have a negative win rate, you're shit. If you have an even win rate, you're okay. If you have a slightly positive win rate, you're doing all right. Like you're a little better than average.
Probably shit twice in one stream, guys.
Dude,
dude.
This is where data just plays. Like, if you can't win half your games, like your game sense or your understanding of the game is where you need to improve the most, and that's a good thing, because then you can be introspective and you can look at it and you can say, okay, I'm doing something wrong consistently. Because I had a guy that was like 46% win rate after 1,800 matches. Like, that's a lot of games where you're not figuring it out. Like you're doing something wrong so consistent that you're contributing to the loss more than you're contributing to the win. Like, that's what that percentage means. So like in MMR, fucking who cares? Like, I don't care about that. It's like, how often are you winning? Because when you are a positive influence more than half the time, then you should win more than half the time, because you're being one of those people that is carrying the game or contributing to the carrying of that game. Soul Reaper says this all the time on his stream. It's one of my favorite things I hear him say, because I feel like he says it every day. He was like, every ranked mode is you carrying the bad people on your team. It's like, yeah, that's what every game is. Like, every time you play this game, you have to carry the other people. So if you're one of the people that's consistently being carried because you're not winning more than half your games, then there's a lot of work to be done, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. That's okay. But it's good to know that, as opposed to just blaming everybody else.
Yeah, I just want rank to shut people up, but yeah, that's about it. I don't really want anything else.
It will one day.
All right.
I just want exclusive stuff. / the other thing that I think would be really cool to get in season 3 is some kind of like content creator icons in the game. Thing that I want.
Man.
Hey, I've been wanting this since I was promised it with Fault. You know, we were supposed to get that Fault partners. We were supposed to get that stuff. You know, and we didn't get it.
Yoinked in Fault.
Hey, Pinzo, I hope nothing for content creators happens.
Okay, Krashy.
I wouldn't be invited.
Somebody's butthurt. Anyways,
one of the things that I want. Like,
I might be shit, Krashy, but I can still get a content creator badge. Bro, what do you want in the game?
How many people have bought your content creator badge? Sorry.
What do you mean bought the badge? Oh, you mean in game? I mean,
I'm just saying, Bearded's gonna sell more than you. That's all.
Yeah.
All right, Ro, what do you want? What do you want in the game?
I'm big like 60. When I go to having the rank, like my experience in Pred so far, I ran against a lot of 5 stacks and everything, and you know, it's a lot of people that really just boast about, like, I'm like, even joining when Soul Reaper made the rank Discord, everybody boasting about their elos, a lot of ego going on in there, and it was like, you know, rank would just solve a lot of those issues, even though, you know, some of the people that actually be boasting, they actually be cold at the game, but I just think like some that just be boasting because they got 5 people around them that they playing the game with all the time, you know. So that's why I'm big on this rank. Another thing that I want that I'm still gonna preach is masteries. Like, yeah, that's why I really want something I can really grind for, even if I'm playing casual. So yeah, but I don't want them to come out with rank until after like free to play though, because I do want to get console people a chance to learn the game before they do come out with a rank though. So.
Okay, all right. I did hear, that's kind of their plan is to wait for free to play. I agree with Krashy. Actually, I think it needs to come out a little bit earlier so they can, get all the things ironed out of it. But that's just me. For me, what I just want to be good enough at the game where Krashy doesn't call me shit multiple times in one stream. All right, that's what I want. I'm hoping one day that will happen. I might need to, do a couple more, little sit downs with Efsixx to get a little more, improvement here and there. But yeah.
If you ever want to do some jungle, let me know.
I don't know. I could only be called shitter one time. I don't know if you could be doing it. Man, that'd be a rough coaching. No, I actually do need to learn jungle, so I might hit you up actually. Might actually happen. But yeah, I think that's about it. We're coming close to that 2-hour mark. Let's show this one more time. Back off a whole thing in there, and hit this one. So again, guys, this is our sneak peek that we get. We get this tomorrow. I can't wait to get the whole thing tomorrow because I'm excited to hear what we all are going to get with it. I'm surprised.
So what do you guys think? Do you think this is edited, or do you think this is just like a straight up a screenshot of half of the roadmap, or do you think they edited this together for us?
No, they probably
whipped. Like the hero part.
So I think there's more to like one side of this that like this is going to be the same picture we get tomorrow.
No, I think there's words below this.
Yeah, I think there's like because.
I think there's a whole paragraph below it.
Separate that like line where they said like, oh, we're going to release a hero here and here. I think they just separated that and put that in one separate part, and we're going to see the rest of it on like another section.
Yeah.
Well, like, okay, so all things considered, from like a graphic design perspective, making this would take like 2 minutes. So I think that they probably whipped this real quick, and it's got all of the elements that the roadmap will have, but I think the roadmap will look different. Like all the other roadmaps were like a horizontal design. So I think that they'll
sorry for saying this looks like a Twitter picture, which I kind of agree with.
Yeah. I don't think that this is what we'll see tomorrow. It's going to have all of this shit is going to be in it, but I don't think it's going to look like this.
I disagree.
No,
I disagree. I think there's going to be a huge blog, and I think in there's going to be the actual roadmap. Within that, there's going to be a section that's going to be talking about just about heroes, and this image is going to be there, and then below that is going to be a paragraph talking about what we got coming on. For these here, this is our hero breakdown of what we got going on. That's what's going to happen with the blog that we're going to get with Road. This picture is going to be involved. I don't think this picture was made just for us.
No, I don't think it was made just for us either. I'm more in line with the Excel Reaper. Like it's probably like a Twitter picture. Like it's a promotional piece that doesn't give everything away that they can still show off and get value out of. They wouldn't have made it for something else.
Especially that claw right there.
The claw.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I had to sneak that one back in there.
All right. So, with that, again, we are hitting that 2-hour mark. I do want to point out that somebody hit me up in DMs after my little rant about the small tournament, like a lower ELO tournament. They're talking about, they brought up, and it's a good idea. It kind of about like soccer, how soccer in Europe goes. They do like the 3 different leagues. So you have like your top tier, your mid tier, and lower tier, and like you win. Go if you don't know anything about this, go watch Ted Lasso, great show. But if you lose, you go down a bracket, and if you win, then you go up a bracket. So that'd be an interesting way to do that. I think that'd be a really fun little predecessor tourney league or whatever. I think that'd be really cool. Please don't say relegation. Sure, yeah, that word. But I think that something like that would be kind of fun, but maybe not obviously 2 teams like they do in tournament in soccer. But so bad for comp.
I personally don't mind relegation.
Yeah. I don't.
You're saying in like the sense that like a team, like X amount of teams, like enter a league because they qualified, and then at the end of the league, like the
bottom 2 teams have to face like the top 2 teams from the Challenger League.
I don't mind that. I think that's like a path to tier 1.
That's how Smite is. Smite has relegation.
Yeah, I don't think that's a terrible thing in the world.
Like in Smite, the bottom two teams from the main league drop into like the bottom 2 teams from the main league and the top 6 teams from the challenger circuit play in a tournament, and then the top 2 teams get those top 2 SPL spots.
Yeah,
so
as long as there's like
if you are the SPL people, you can get back in, or
Yeah.
the challenger people can get in.
Yeah, I think that's cutthroat as shit. That's Darwinism, right? Like that doesn't mean you earned it once and then you're vetted into competitive pro play forever.
Yeah.
Like yeah,
Right.
yeah. That thing.
If
I
you're
think that sounds
bad,
good.
Right.
like show that you're better than the challenger circuit.
Yeah, if you're the bottom 2 SPL teams and you can't beat the up and comers, you don't deserve your spot. Like
So,
I think that's
and the reason I like that, though, the reason I like it for me, because like I know you get better by playing competitive play, right? Me just going and playing quick play right now, playing with a bunch of randoms. Yeah, do I get better? But not as much. I'm not getting exponentially better than like I would if I was playing in a competitive platform, right? If that makes sense. My words are probably messing up there. I'm sorry, but I feel like if we did it like the competitive, like all right, maybe I am just at this in between mid-tier league. Maybe that's where I'm at. Maybe that's where I top out at. But I can still play competitively, and that's where I'm still having fun. I'm not just playing like, okay, here I am just playing quick play because I don't want to go up against the top 1% because I just know like if I know my worth, I know my worth, right? There's no point in me going into like, all right, let me go in PCC. All right, first team out. That was fun. I wasted my time. That's just what it is for me. Like, let me play in something like be competitive. I want something competitive for me that I can play competitively, and if I do get better, then I can all right, now I can jump up into this higher tier league and I can try this. I can grind this out. Like, all right, let's try to get better with this now. Like, I got a higher, a tougher competition I'm going against. I just think it's better. I think it makes sense to help everybody grow.
Yeah.
All right.
I think obviously we're not at the spot as predecessor of the game to have that many teams, but I mean it's definitely
not right now.
Futuristic thing, yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'm not talking about. Let's start this. I'm it's not like I'm hitting them choice right now as we're talking to to get it going. But no, I think it's something that would later on, if once free to play happens with Pred and these numbers were jump the way we think these numbers are going to jump, then that's something we can start looking into. So. But yeah, that's just where I'm at. But I thought it was cool that somebody was hitting me up in their DMs and had that idea, and I didn't even think about that, but that's actually a pretty good idea. So I'm more about that as well. But on that note, let's go with the same way we introduce ourselves. Let's do our little shout out. Let people know where they are. Let them know where they can find you. The last time you put out content, where they can find that, and then little shout out to the community, little shout out to the devs. What do you want to say to them? And then we'll move on to the ending here. So again, just how we went through. So it's Ro, Krashy, Pinzo, Efsixx, and myself.
So guys, my name is Just Ro TV. I stream over on Twitch. I post videos on TikTok and YouTube. Make sure y'all go over there and hit that subscribe or follow button. I do want to thank the devs for taking the negative feedback into a positive way. And kind of turn it into something that can be great. But you gotta take time to. It's gonna take time for us to get to that point. But I do want to thank them for that. And then shout out to the community for always giving back the feedback. It's a lot of people that do sit behind and just play the game and not get feedback, but people that take the chance to go out there, put themselves out there to try to help the game. It's always a plus. So yeah, thank y'all. I appreciate y'all, both community and Omeda.
All right. And happy to have you, man. It was good to have you on. I know you hit me up like months ago trying to get on the show, but then our schedules just didn't align right. So happy that we were able to actually get you on here. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that, bro.
Krashy?
Yeah, gonna echo that. Big love to Predcast. Anytime I can jump on here, a lot of fun. To the devs, keep rocking, man. Like, I think that the way that I've felt about the game has been fairly consistent for a while now. This game has crazy potential. The gameplay is S tier. Like, I'm essentially an addict. Like, and I don't mean that like of Pred specifically, although that is my current addiction. I'm a gaming addict. So like when I find a game, I lock into it. I almost don't play anything else. I don't even really enjoy Pred right now, and it's the only fucking thing I play. Like I just play it and play it and play it. So just give me my heroin, right? Like y'all are the needle. I need the shit. I need the shit. Like just give it to me. I'm excited about it. Dare to be bold. Like Just keep doing your shit. To the community, I literally had someone say this in a game to me recently. They said, for a content creator, you're really toxic. And I said, I didn't know that I ever claimed not to be. I'm toxic. I'm an asshole. I'll flame you. So yeah, I'm just kind of clarifying that as well. On all social media, you can find me at Krashy. I love posting videos. I think probably for Pred, I kind of have my eyes set on just doing more casting. I kind of IRL'd the fuck up lately. I'm like working my job. I'm like seeing someone right now, and I'm just doing life things. So I think where I will actually be the biggest asset is to work on some casting and do some fun stuff. So yeah, much love to the community. I think that this game, like I said, it's crazy potential. I have a lot of love for it, and I'm excited to see where it goes, good or bad, man. I'm gonna be here praising it when it's fucking good, and I'm gonna be here shitting on it when it's bad. So that's what. All right.
And for your heroin analogy, does that mean Predcast is the later as we try to get things ready for you and get you hyped, ready to go?
Hell yeah.
All right.
Or my cotton ball. I don't know all the drugs.
I don't know either. I could be completely wrong. I don't know. It was just what I thought of when you said that. Pinzo.
Yeah, I'm Pinzo. I'm 10% less toxic than Krashy.
No way. There's no way.
10%? I mean,
I think no. What I've always said about you and Pred is that you take the heat off of me. It's weird. I think you're like 5% more toxic than me. I think people dislike you a little bit more than they dislike me.
Well, I think they dislike me more, but I don't know if I'm more toxic, bro. Have you been chat muted, Krashy?
Oh yeah.
I have.
Yeah, I'm an asshole. I'm an asshole. Yeah, so maybe. I don't know. It's hard to say. I think you're more public than me right now, though. Like I've been kind of on the sidelines, you know.
All right,
I think the difference is in game you will text up Krashy and Pinzo. You're just gonna say it out loud to the stream.
I do. I never type in game. I only talk to my stream.
Yep. That's the difference.
I used to be that way. And then I stopped streaming, and now I flame in chat now.
Yep. Yeah. Now you have no way to vent because you're not doing it on stream. So you gotta have that streamed event too. Because I don't type either. And there's times I'll get a little toxic, complaining about what's going on, but it is what it is. All right.
But yes, I stream daily. I upload YouTube videos daily. I play in competitive whenever they have tournaments, that kind of stuff. So yeah, you can catch me everywhere: Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok at Pinzo. On everything.
All right. I didn't know you had a TikTok. I was looking that up.
I haven't uploaded a TikTok in like 4 months.
All right. I'm pretty bad with myself. I think that's probably about where I'm at sitting as well. So, all right. Efsixx.
What's up? I'm not as toxic as these two to my left and my right here. But you catch me on Twitch and Kick and YouTube at Efsixx, over on Zitter, Twitter, wherever you want to compete patter, wherever Elon Musk is owning right now. You catch me over there. I'm also a color caster over by the PCC. Stay tuned. We got some more stuff cooking. Got some meal prep going along. Probably see a little bit more of Krashy as well. Pinzo, if he gets his head out of his, but we'll see. And then other than that, love you.
All right. I mean, obviously, somebody wearing a Cracker Barrel hat's got to have something cooking, right? It just makes sense. And tell me,
better than Cracker Barrel. Sorry, Chief.
Where are those fresh biscuits at, Efsixx? I want to know.
They're coming. They're cooking in the oven right now.
They're cooking in the oven right now. All right, there we go. All right. As for myself, again, love having you all here. Appreciate having you back for an episode, Krashy. That was great to have you back, and it was good to be called a shitter twice. I appreciate it. Keeping me humble. I like it. And then again, Pinzo and Efsixx, you guys are always great. Love having you guys as co-hosts. Bro, again, having you on, that was great. Hit me up whenever you're available again, and if we're available with that time slot, we'll get you in here again. Great having you as a guest. As for Windu, a little shout out for him. Again, you can check him. You can see his content on YouTube at Windu the Mace. We will be posting this episode hopefully tomorrow by noon, as long as everything goes right with the upload and all that stuff. We should be good to go on noon on YouTube. So make sure, even if you watched it here live, go show us some love over there. Hit that like button, do a comment GG real quick, just to kind of help us with the algorithm and help it get pushed to everybody else. I do appreciate everybody that is in the community that has been helping us. What the Stegs Predcast last week was already at 1.4K views. That's awesome. The numbers keep on rising for us. I love the support you guys are all giving us. The numbers we had here for tonight's episode are fucking amazing. Love you guys live. That was awesome. Appreciate everybody in chat spamming the mean emotes. I don't know who's mad. Oh, we're talking about toxic. Gotcha. All right, gotcha. I was like, what's going on? But anyways, for myself, again, I stream Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm pushing my Thursday streams for at least football season to Fridays, most likely. Or I might even just drop it down to 3 streams. It depends on what's going on, because Friday, Saturday, Sunday is family time. So it all depends what's going on. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, guaranteed. Wednesdays, Predcast every time. Monday, Tuesdays are me gaming, playing whatever game we got going on. Other than that, I appreciate every single one of you, community-wise, devs-wise. Again, shout out to RGSace and Kari for getting us that sneak peek. We really appreciate you guys helping us, content creators, us partner content creators, to getting out here. Yeah, on short notice, it was awesome.
They gave that to us like an hour before Predcast started.
Yep. Awesome, and it's late for them too. For the over there, like that yes. They were working late getting that stuff for us. 100% appreciate it. You guys are all amazing. I can't wait to see what we get going forward. But on that note, we will see you on the next one. Peace.